Welcome, Yang Chi, to this exploration into our source material today. Um, Imagine trying to dance in shoes made of glass so thin they're literally compared to a spider's web.
Yeah, that sounds honestly terrifying.
Right. Like one wrong step and you don't just, ruin the night, you could severely injure your feet. We're looking at this specific version of Cinderella not as some simple happily ever after, but almost as this high-stakes engineering project with a really deadly expiration date.
I mean, that is a fascinating way to frame it because the magic here isn't just like a poof and suddenly you're a princess. It's what I call the alchemy of the mundane.
The alchemy of the mundane, I like that.
Yeah, because the fairy godmother doesn't create a carriage out of thin air, you know? She looks at the actual debris of Cinderella's poverty, like the garden pests and the produce, and she upcycles them.
But wait, hold on. If the godmother is only appearing now, for the sake of her dear mama, as the text says, where was she this whole time?
Right, during all those years she was scrubbing floors.
Exactly. Why let her suffer under this haughty stepmother and two totally disagreeable sisters until this one specific ball? It just, I don't know, it feels a little late for a family favor.
Well, that's a very fair critique. But the text does suggest the magic is tied directly to Cinderella's patience.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, she transitioned from a gentleman's dutiful daughter to basically a domestic laborer. And her resilience is the actual raw material the godmother works with. When she finally steps in, she performs a literal inventory. She's honestly like a foreman on a clock.
And the recipe is just bizarre when you actually look at it. She doesn't pick animals at random. One pumpkin becomes the coach, 6 mice become horses, but then she asks for a rat from a trap. Like, why a rat?
Well, this is where the why gets really interesting. She chooses the rat specifically because of its stately whiskers.
Wait, seriously, just for the whiskers?
Just for the whiskers. She's looking for the physical attributes of authority to create a coachman, you know, the guy who sits up front and drives.
Oh, wow. Okay, that tracks.
And she also takes 6 lizards and turns them into footmen in the gayest livery.
Which is like high-end colorful uniforms, right?
Right, exactly. And she makes a postilion, the person who rides the lead horse, to steer the team.
So she's literally just mining the garden for status symbols, like a high-stakes logistics manager.
Mm-hmm.
Yenning, you've probably felt that deadline dread before, but imagine if your car turned back into a pumpkin while you were on the highway. That's the pressure here.
It's intense. And then she gets to the ball, and things get even weirder with the prince. The social mechanics of the court are completely disrupted.
Well, yeah, because he's so enchanted that he actually fasts, right?
He does. He refuses to eat a single bite at the royal supper because he's, quote, too much occupied in waiting upon her.
See, I wonder if that's true love or just like extreme 17th century etiquette.
How do you mean?
Well, by refusing to eat, he's basically signaling to everyone in the room that the existing social order just doesn't matter anymore. Only this stranger in the spiderweb shoes matters. It's a total power move.
It definitely works. I mean, on the first night, Cinderella is the absolute model of punctuality, right? She leaves right at 11:45 p.m.
Leaving plenty of time for the commute.
Exactly. But on the second night, the tender sayings of the prince make her completely lose track of time.
The tender sayings get her. And when that clock strikes 12, the engineering just fails.
Everything collapses. The livery vanishes, the horses revert to mice, and she's just running through the palace in her shabby clothes.
Except for that one shoe, which leads to the royal proclamation. When the herald goes out to find the owner, it's not just a casual shoe fitting. It causes a great sensation among ladies of all ranks.
Oh, absolutely. The whole kingdom is obsessed.
And Yining, the real aha moment isn't just when the shoe fits her foot. It's when she casually reaches into her pocket and pulls out the fellow slipper.
Yes. That is the ultimate receipt. She doesn't just match the prince's evidence, you know, she proves she owned the magic all along.
Which explains why the sisters' reaction shifts so violently, like from pure vexation and annoyance to total astonishment.
Right, they realize she didn't just get lucky, she was the actual source of the transformation.
And they end up craving forgiveness, which is a soft landing, but it shows how the power dynamics of the entire house were permanently reconfigured by those fragile glass shoes.
It really does. But, you know, it leaves us with this lingering question about the mechanics of that world.
It does. So, Yenny, as we wrap up this exploration, think about this. If every other piece of magic, the coach, the horses, the footmen, even her gown, dissolved the very second the clock struck 12, why did the glass slipper stay? Was that spiderweb fine glass the only part of the magic meant to endure? Or did the prince's touch somehow change the rules of the spell? Maybe some things are just, too delicate for even time to break, something to mull over until our next deep dive.